Well, that was awesome. And now we're going to be talking about building in the EU, guys. We got any EU residents here, or did we all fly in? Okay. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about building in the EU for founders, the challenges and opportunities that are possible here in the EU. And you guys are so lucky today because I'll actually be moderating this panel. I'll be staying on stage. You'll get a lot more of me here. So joining me will be Alex Kirchmaier of the Austrian Blockchain Center, Martin Hergovic of the ETHBratislava, and Paul from SilverSwap, which I'm sure you all are familiar with. So please welcome to the stage Alex, Martin, and Paul, please. I'm gonna take a seat. Well, I gotta shake everyone's hand. Be polite.
Hi. Hey, man.
Welcome. All right, guys. So I got a nice list of questions here. But before we get started on that, let's ask for some quick introductions and summaries of who you guys are. So let's start with you, Alex.
I'm a token economist from the Austrian Blockchain Center. I am thinking a lot about how to build sustainable token economies for the long term. And I'm also a venture builder, so I did some startups before, and that got me into crypto. So yeah, happy to be here.
Cool. A serial founder. And Martin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey everyone. Well, I'm one of the co-founders of ETHBratislava. So it's a conference and hackathon happening in Bratislava, actually in 2 weeks' time. And during my day job, I'm a country manager and director of M&As for one crypto exchange. So my job is to source out potential deals and hopefully integrate them if that makes business sense. But my professional background is law, and I have actually JD from crypto regulation. So a little bit of boring stuff as well.
Oh, wonderful. Now, Paul, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm CTO of SilverSwap, DEX running on Sonic. Also a crypto enthusiast here from Phantom. I've been building in the trenches since like 2 years now, and yeah, we're here to welcome and see the Sonic world.
Awesome. Yeah, so we've got a nice, diverse panel, levels of experience, ranges of experience here. So let's start off with the biggest question here. How does the EU's regulatory environment, like MiCA or GDPR, impact your approach to building blockchain products? We've noticed on the American side, it seems to kind of put a little pressure on us. So it must put a lot more pressure on the EU builders. So let's just start going down the line first. Alex, do you have any thoughts on this?
I was afraid you're going to ask about MiCA. I don't know too much about the details. I mean, I know that we have this framework now, and I know that when you launch a project, you need to go through these regulatory processes and so on. I think it's great to have a clarity on what to do. So that's, on one side, that's good. On the other side, I think that the European Union slept again, right? When there wasn't this favorable administration in the United States, we could have been there and say like, hey, come to us, bring your capital, human capital, come, the good guys, the builders, come to us, bring your money to us. But we didn't. We waited and we slept and we were slowing down processes. I think a lot about Europe is that you need to ask for so many permissions, you need to go through all the bureaucracy, which stops a lot of builders. And eventually people are gonna build their startup again in some island nation, and just have a postbox there.
Yeah, people want to get out from underneath the regulation as opposed to adhere and work through the system, it seems. Okay. Martin, what about you? Do you feel similarly, like the regulations in the EU are kind of stifling the building?
I would say it's kind of, let me start again. Yeah, there is definitely a lot of red tape, so it burdens innovators, builders, so building in the EU is a lot harder, but on the other hand, we get a lot more regulatory clarity in comparison to the US. Also in terms of crypto services, centralized services like exchange and these kind of things, custody and especially stable coins. I think this is the biggest advantages of EU, having kind of regulatory clarity. But on the other hand, all these requirements, rules, it stifles up the innovation, and it takes a lot more time, a lot more effort to build something here. But as I said, the clarity brings a couple of advantages here as well.
Yeah, I guess a lot fewer surprises down the line, getting slapped with a surprise lawsuit, something like that. Quite fascinating. Now, Paul, what about you? Have you been impacted by MiCA or GDPR in terms of
I
building?
mean, we're running a DEX, so we're fully decentralized. So right now, the MiCA rules doesn't apply to any DEXs yet, I would say. But the thing is, they're trying to. Europe has always wanted to put rules everywhere. They're trying to put rules also in AI and all the new stuff. And sometimes rule can just like reduce the innovation and the fact that we are more like likely to push a new product really fast, really easily. And the thing is, day to day, everything can change. Like which the first writing of the MiCA rules was wanted to avoid people getting like cold wallet or hot wallets. Like that's not possible. You can say to people, don't use the blockchain, just use the sex and everything, so we know what's your wallet. You know, we know who we are. So yeah, it doesn't affect us right now, but it's just a matter of time, and they're all trying to regulate everything.
I see, I see. Is there any advice that you have for anyone building out here to prepare for any kind of new regulations for building in the EU? Do you need to engage cautiously, I guess, is my question? Or can you just innovate and then just hope that the regulation catches up? I'll ask Martin.
Yeah, I would just say like if you are building anything centralized, it's very difficult. So I would like propose to focus on the decentralized solution, especially non-custodial, because yeah, there's not so many regulations. From time to time, you might get with transfer rule, transfer funds of regulation. But yeah, I think I would stick to the decentralized services. I think that's the way to go. It's a shame that the centralized game is already, I would say, saturated with the big players. So yeah, let's focus on building the decentralized small stuff and ship fast.
Okay, yeah, I like that. On Sonic, build small, decentralized products and move fast. Okay. What about you, Alex? Do you think that there are any pieces of legislation that the EU is getting right? Any kind of regulations?
I mean, as Martin said, I think that it's good to have more clarity. So the regulation that they brought, we still have to wait. You're a lawyer, right? So we have to wait for the first courts to decide anything. You know, like it's the law is here now, but now we have to try it out and check what is happening when we follow it and what is actually a court saying about certain cases. But yeah, I guess it's a good advice to focus on infrastructure projects and something like that, because launching a token, for instance, I wouldn't do it here. I would just not launch the token here because it's big trouble or challenge to do so, right? And if you have a bigger network of companies worldwide or something, like most crypto companies do it, they don't launch the token here, right? Yeah.
Do you think that's going to hurt Europe in the long run? The fewer people launching their products here, doing it offshore?
Yeah, I'm more thinking about people getting it launching offshore than just reduce the people of builders and launcher. Like everyone's getting the ideas, and the decentralized way of doing it is that no one can really like forbid you to do it. Like no one can like avoid you to launching a project, launching a token. Like you can ban the. It's impossible to ban the blockchain. Like blockchain is everywhere. You just need internet, and no one is like regulated internet. Like internet is free. So I was just think that if Europe continue to putting new rules, new everything, the people will just go transatlantic, go to the US or other places like Dubai or more crypto-friendly places. And that's sad. I mean, we all love Europe. We all want to have like big crypto companies out there. We already have like Ledger, Trezor, a bunch of other crypto company, and it's just sad that now to build in Europe, you need like to have so many lawyers, so many legal team to be compliant with all the rules. So that's why people keep getting into decentralized thing.
Yeah, I bury your venture.
I said that before Trump was in power, that there will be crypto with or without the United States. It's your choice, right? You can do whatever you want, but there will be crypto, and there will be this industry and this market and these products that this industry is building. They're global by definition. It doesn't make sense to think about, do I build it in this country, do I build it there? It's just, you want to build a great product, and where it is located, the headquarter, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can be French, you can be Slovakian, you can be Austrian, you can be, but you can build it wherever.
I think that's a fantastic point, is that the global nature of the technology means that toothpaste is out of the tube, as they say, or the cat's out of the bag, right? You can't get it back in. The technology is out there, it's going to disseminate. So let's talk a little bit about then targeting, I guess, European markets, building European communities. Is there a difference, you think? Are European users and developers maybe more cautious or curious compared to their global counterparts? Any feelings on this? Let me start with Paul here on the end first.
I would say the European market is a bit different than other markets, like especially with the American one. Like in America, people can do pretty much like whatever they want. The fact is, in Europe and that kind of country, you're trying to be regulated in everything you're doing, and I think it's just better to launch like a product in other country where, especially in crypto, where you don't get regulated. Like you don't get regulated, you can do whatever you want without any like big players or regulation.
Okay. Martin, what about you? Do you think that the European users are generally more cautious or curious compared
I would say both, cautious and curious, but thing I wanted to say, European users are more acquainted with DeFi. That's like the fact. I read some of them, like the reports of Chainalysis. I think this one is like older one from like a year or two back. And it was showing that in the EU or the wider European area, the adoption of use of DeFi is way, way, way higher than in the US. So I think European users are more acquainted with more sophisticated use cases, and this would be the way how I would attract them, to provide them some solutions to play with or to try some new stuff. And I think this is the place, or this is the opportunity for us to bring these kind of products to the users.
Fantastic. That's quite interesting. So they do enjoy these decentralized, a little bit more complicated products. Alex, what about you? Do you agree?
I think there are, both kinds of people, like in most countries are. When you look on Google Trends, you will see that Austria is one of the highest ranking countries when it comes to looking up Bitcoin and different crypto products. Like, it's really high up. So from the search volume from retail, crypto is a big thing here. But yeah, like in the most Western countries, there has been media about scams. There has been media that makes people believe that this is still some scammer game, right? But yeah, there are more and more curious people, I think, and also people are coming in slowly. I think when we in 17, in 18, and also in 20 and 21. Right now, I don't see so many new people coming in, but it's coming in waves, right? So when the prices go up again, people see like, hey, what is this thing, Bitcoin?
Would you say that's the universal then? The price is what really motivates everyone to get interested.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. So along that line, like how do you engage with the European Web3 community? What's needed to strengthen it? From what Martin's saying, it sounds like these kind of more novel products. Is that maybe just a way to kind of skirt around the oppressive regulation, you think? Or is it more true desire for these products, like true use case? I guess that is a true use case, is to get around the regulation.
I think this is one of the reasons people tend to use the more sophisticated products, because the devs, actually, they want to try to avoid the regulation because it's very cumbersome and hard to navigate oftentimes. But I think there's a huge division between like a general user and more like advanced user. The new entrant usually only knows how to buy, maybe how to swap some tokens, and more sophisticated users usually use like yield farming, DeFi, and whatever you can imagine. But there's like a huge difference and the gap of knowledge. So I think the bridging the gap is like crucial for the upcoming months and years, but I believe we can make it because there's so many people who are curious and they want to learn.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a big market that really kind of could benefit from this kind of interaction. So what role do you all think the EU will play in shaping the blockchain globally? Do you think...
You mean people from the EU or companies from here, or?
The question they offered me just says the EU, but let's narrow it down to companies.
I don't think the EU itself should do anything. They should just leave us alone and do things.
Right on.
So yeah, I think that Europe still is a place with a very big amount of highly educated people, which is also what you just mentioned, that a lot of people are there to play around with more sophisticated things because they understand them, right? So we still see that there is a lot of potential of people who have the necessary education to understand blockchain things. So I think there is a great potential. What we do have in Europe, and we always had, that is, you see that out there, we have such an amazing city with this old culture and what we have in Austria, but this is just one piece of Europe. We are very diverse and very many languages, many cultures, and that might make it difficult for some to build this company throughout here, because you have to think about all these different jurisdictions, all the different cultures, how they behave, how they want to be treated. And I guess that's good and bad. It's interesting, but it's also more difficult than if you had one big country that was the same.
Oh, that's a good point. I would say one of the more defining traits of the EU is its diversity. A bunch of dozens of languages and cultures combined together. The Discord must be a nightmare to manage. You got to have a bunch of translators.
People speak English, you know, they're highly educated.
Yeah, I guess so. Not like in America, we only go one language. But if you could change any one thing to make the EU more Web3 friendly, what would it be? This is the killer question, or final one. One thing you would change about the EU to make it more Web3 friendly, what would it be? Paul?
I think what EU really needs, like to really change and be more crypto friendly, would be just to understand that people need a little bit more freedom. Like, especially, for example, I will take America. Like, it's a country of freedom. Like, people used to that. They want the freedom and they want to be able to do anything. When EU, people more likely to like tend to use rules to be sure that everything is well done, and it's good. I mean, it's a good point. It avoids scammers. It avoids like a huge catastrophe that we had, like with stablecoin that rugged and everything. But it slowed down so much people. So just let us a little bit of freedom into the decentralized way. Let us that part of the world to be really free, and yeah, let us like just building in Europe, because everyone is going to other places, and that makes me so mad.
Yeah. Well, Martin, what about you? One thing you would change?
I would say just to tone down regulation a little bit, but yeah, there are other benefits. Like I think, like in terms of next month, European stablecoins are going to be on the rise. So I think if there would be any option to promote the use of local services, that would be the thing to do. And yeah, a little bit of more focus of for technical education and like a developer experience, or like promotion of people who are actually tinkling with things.
Okay, wonderful. Alex, what about you? Are you going to surprise us and say they should ban Pulse or something?
No, I mean, I agree with the guys what they said already. What Paul said, people, you should just treat crypto people less like criminals from the beginning, or like you should not like criminals, but less like they should not make it troublesome for you to open a bank account because you do something with crypto. I mean, I have heard that from so many people who do their company here, and then you go to the bank, you say we built this product, and then you mention crypto, and then they say no. So
I have first experience in this. It's very
Yeah, same
difficult
for
to
me. I tried
open a
all the
bank
bank-
account even for a crypto company.
I think that should be our one regulation that we change is stop taking people's bank accounts away from
Yeah.
crypto,
I
right?
tried all the banks in my city, and they all refused me when I said crypto. Like,
Man.
So most people have good intentions, so you should just treat them like they have that. And when there is a reason to be suspicious, then I mean you could look into them. But here it's kind of the opposite. You have to prove before you know often.
Gotcha. A little skittish still around it, regulatory-wise. Well, thank you so much, guys. That's all of our time. That was the fastest 20 minutes I've ever had. I want to thank you again, Alex, Martin, Paul. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. That was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great. I got to stay on stage because I get into this.